We get a 1, personal space, 2, personal space, 3.
Hey, hello listeners. This is just a quick disclaimer for this week's episode. As anyone that's listened to the show before knows, there can be some adult language, and anyone that's listening for the first time, please keep that in mind. We tend to be ourselves and not filter, so occasionally a bad word might come out. If you have any children in the room, please put on some headphones or have them put on some headphones. Thank you.
That I don't even care about this. I'm not even interested in having this skin on my personal space.
You're listening to the IDP Guys with Sean, John, and Nathan, the Wizards of Fantasy Football. Your go-to source for the individual defensive player strategy. And now, 3 guys who could only make an NFL team on Madden.
All right, what is going on? This is episode 143. My name is Nathan. I'm joined with my co-hosts Johnny and Sean. What's going on, guys?
What's
up? What is up? All right, let's just jump right into the opening question this week. What's been your favorite part of this whole journey of the last 4 years of the IDP Guys as we wind down to our final episodes? What do you guys got?
Sean, you want to hit us with something positive?
No, I'd like to let you lead it off first.
Okay. I'll actually take this seriously for once. So, as much as, fantasy Twitter is a cesspool shithole, hellhole, that we've met a lot of really great people, and we got a lot of them on staff. Z-Mags, Kyle, the big 3 guys, all our favorites out there, the listeners, the readers, Joey. IDP dude, so many. Oh my God, Biddy, just dudes that have been on staff forever. The listeners, readers, people that are just part of the crew now. The whole Slack chat last year, when Joe G won that title, we won that title. That was the feeling in the Slack chat because it was.
Well, you did all the work.
Well, no. It was a group think for decisions. Week after week after week that whole year, and it culminated in a title, and it felt like everyone won that title. That was awesome. So that's been great. That's been my favorite part by far. Writing the articles, that's still fun. It's been nice. It's been nice meeting good people and blocking the rest. How about you guys?
Kind of along the same lines. I was going to say getting conned into doing this podcast where I was just kind of a guest a couple of times. And then it was like, hey, what time are you available next week? And then I was just on the show. And, what that resulted in was meeting you guys and meeting Joey and Biddy and Z-Mags and just tons of people that these are going to be long-term friends, even though after the podcast is over, I'm probably getting out of the industry and I'm just kind of going to be an observer mostly with my random thoughts on Twitter. It's going to be something where it's these are people that I've met that I'm going to have long-term friendships with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold.
Nate's reevaluating his decision to talk about an X-Lax experience here.
Well, and what I really also enjoy, in a selfish way, is everyone's got their area of expertise, right? There are specific questions that I'll text Sean with, or I'll text Todd with, or if it's a Packers, linebacker situation, I'm going to Kyle,
Yep.
What do you go to Hollywood with?
Honestly, not much.
Oh, I hope he doesn't watch.
I hope he does.
I love Hollywood. He's
Yeah.
awesome. He's awesome. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Titans questions. That's where
Titans
I go.
questions.
Yeah.
to bug him on how Tannehill was going to be a better quarterback than what was that?
Mariota.
Mariota. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What
said
was that crap
that
Heisman winner?
that season that Tannehill went there, and I poked him with, oh yeah, Tannehill's gonna overtake Mariota and come out as the better quarterback.
How the
And he's
hell?
just like,
Yeah. How
no,
could
that's
anyone know?
don't even say that. Yeah, and I was just giving him shit. I just wanted to, because at that point Tannehill was the lowest of his career, and here, I just kind of like
Adam
shoved his
Gase
face in the
is
shit.
Adam Gase is the lowest of everybody's career. So
Yeah,
there's
no,
that.
that's true. But man, what a turnaround! Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I'd have to say the greatest thing about the last 4 years is seeing what a conversation between John and I in a car heading out to a party could turn into. Just the two of us, like, we were roommates. We, just kind of decided on a whim to like start a podcast and talk about fantasy football because we'd like to talk about fantasy football together, like, and just to see where that could go. 4 years later, we've got this semi-successful website. We're looking at
Million hits coming.
Yeah, we're going on to 1 million hits. Income driving. It's got all of these guys that we've got to meet and be a part of. The friends, but then also the crazies like that we've experienced. Like, it's still part of that experience. Like, it's still, I don't know, it's part of the whole thing. And to see that, like, now, we're set up in a community to kind of do whatever. Like, we might be ending this show, but Johnny still has a ton of connections with people that are, in the fantasy community, as far as some of the higher up guys. It's not ending. Nothing's ending. And 4 years ago, we were just two assholes that talked about IDP in our living room.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Sean.
What are you watching on TV in the background? Is that Game of Thrones?
What, me?
Yeah.
BBC News, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks very cinematic.
Oh, yeah. Well, British TV,
Yeah.
it's dark, medieval, probably, whatever it is. But I like the whole, so yeah, our like home leagues and leagues we were in 4 years ago before we got in here were filled with people that have been watching football as long as, we have or I have, and they're really good. But holy shit, are we in a different level now? Like the leagues that we're in now, just everyone is a fucking degenerate. And no one screws up, and everyone's on top of shit years ahead of time. So it really has like made us better, I feel like, as players, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And back then we would have trouble filling leagues of 8 people.
Oh yeah, no, I could put a tweet out now and fill any league. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
And the level, we were just at redraft. We were just doing, redraft leagues. We had no idea like about Dynasty.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I could join you.
Yeah. Now it's like, I love the most complex, the salary caps, all of that stuff, the economics of just values of players when you add contracts and salaries involved. Like, all of this stuff is super intriguing, and just the quantity, like, man, I gotta be in like 20 something leagues, that are year round.
Just 20.
Well, Johnny, you're even more.
Best ball doesn't count.
Well, yeah, I've got just 20 best ball right now. Another 20 dynasty. I'll do at least like 10 redraft and 10 college fantasy as well, minimum this year. It's a problem.
And we're partnered with a provider. like a fantasy provider with Fantrax. Like, you ever think that was going to happen?
No.
You know, I remember the closest we ever got was you calling up the Yahoo helpline because something was fucked up in our league. You know?
Yeah, tweeting at Yahoo or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And getting some answers that way. But
Yeah.
no, it's been wild. It's been crazy what we've been able to put together, the experience we've had. This show is, it's ending. But there's more things coming. I really think that IDP guys, the site and all that stuff it's on an upward trajectory. There's going to be so much more with the website. We've got plans for remaking our YouTube channel and doing things that I'd never expected, and we're partnered with people that can actually help us. It's not just, me doing it or Johnny writing 30,000 words a week. We've got people on board to help keep us going. And I don't know, it's a cool feeling to even be on the other side of that. So, but with that, we should probably transition to real football talk. And what's the news, Johnny?
There isn't any, to be honest with you. I had to scrape for these two things, and I went through like the last 2 weeks of everything on NFL.com. So the Frank Clark thing is going to be a thing. It's a felony assault weapon charge. So you could probably try and move Frank Clark or wait or not get him.
You can't. You can't move him. No one's
can't move
for
him.
him.
So just don't get him unless you already got him. And then I have plenty, so I'm fucked.
Yeah, he was one of those guys to get.
Yeah, I'm fucked. But yeah, that's gonna be a thing. And then I saw an interesting article about Larry Fitzgerald still undecided on retirement. Do we think there's any chance he comes back?
I don't think it matters.
No.
At this point, I think the team's moving on from him. So if he comes back, he'll come back and he'll cut into some of the wide receivers' workloads and all that, and you adjust accordingly. But like, there's not a whole lot you can do with that, and it is what it is.
Oh, I saw a great tweet the other day, Sean, that reminded me of you. One of the people on fantasy Twitter said that there were going to be like 100 plus vacated targets that are going to Rondale Moore this year.
I saw that.
Oh,
one of the engagement farmers on Twitter.
Hit up PA Howdy on that. He's the king of vacated targets. So no, it's not happening.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, that's it. There's jack shit going on right now. Nothing.
Yeah, well, it's that time of year. If there is any news, it's probably coach speak. Mm-hmm. So let's talk some notes real quick. If you haven't had a chance, definitely go to idpguys.org and purchase a magazine for your rookie drafts for just general entertainment of reading about these rookies that have come out and, seeing who's at the top of the list and who you might be able to grab in later rounds. It's a great product, great group of people that put that together. I'm very happy that, this is our second year doing that. We've got plans for next year, expanding even the staff writing it. But yeah, IDP offense, we've got one for each. You can get a bundle for about $30, digital copy, or you can get it in print. Also become a subscriber at the magazine level. You get it for free. So, definitely go check that out. IDP Invitational. All of the invites have gone out for 2021. Everyone is in the Fantrax League page. We're going with Fantrax this year. They sponsored us as the site, as well as put up $500 of NFL merchandise signed to be to go to the winner of the Invitational. We've already raised over $1,500 for autism awareness, which is awesome. So definitely, if you're in it, thank you for joining. If you are not in it, you can go to idpguys.org and sign up for 2022. And you can still donate whatever you'd like, be a part of, everything that's going on with that. So definitely idpguys.org for that. Johnny, the Autism Eliminators, are they still going on? Are they still filling up, or what's the news there?
So according to Dan a couple of days ago, there's still a few spots left. Hit up Seahawks Dan 8 if you want to get in on that. It's a suggested donation of $10 to Autism Speaks. So the Eliminator is a best ball style MFL contest. The lowest score each week gets eliminated. At the end, the final two get a prize, money, and then the rest is donated to charity. Good stuff. I handpicked everyone in my division, and it's just a goddamn bloodbath. It's 18 of the most degenerate fuckers you've ever seen, and it's horrible. John Macri had first overall pick, and he went homer mode and took Garrett, which I can't argue with. I cannot argue with. I might have gone Donald. It's DT premium, but it's he's a Browns fan, so I'll give it to him.
Yeah. So is that IDP only?
Yes, IDP only, corners, DTs, it's going to be a shit show. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, those things are always very awesome. Additional announcements. I don't really have any. Do you have anything there, Johnny? Sean, did you buy any new hats?
I haven't, but Johnny tags me in the one today, so I got to get that one.
Nice. I still need to get my fake minor league logos on hats and stuff out there.
Yeah, I will buy the hell out of those.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's just been a matter of like, I got a laundry list of things going on. So once get to that,
we're all short on time right now, which is part of why this is coming to a close. It's time.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, Bobby, talk us through it. When did you start watching football? How'd you get into football? Was it a family thing, or how did it start for you?
Man, I honestly don't really know. Always been a sports guy, honestly. There's a bunch of crappy sports around Kentucky, really. I mean, UK basketball. I've never been a big UK basketball guy. You got WKU here in town, and we go to local games, but it's just kind of hard to get behind. It's just too small. But yeah, football, I mean, probably, being a Rams fan, those early years of Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, even the insufferable years with Jeff Fisher and Steven Jackson, a running back that, would have thrived on a better offense. But yeah, man, I'd say early 2000s is when I really started, paying attention to real football.
Nice, man. We were talking about that the other day when we were talking about the trailer for the Kurt Warner movie, and I loved that team, man. I had a Mark Bulger jersey. Don't ask me why. It should have been a Kurt Warner jersey, but I wasn't thinking properly back then. That was one of my favorite teams, man. Falk was a beast. How could you not love Kurt Warner? Man, the 1 yard short Super Bowl, like that's probably my favorite Super Bowl ever.
That's my favorite Super Bowl for sure.
Against the first year Tennessee Titans, was that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think it was their first year, but it was definitely
close.
their first. It might have been their first playoff run, though.
I don't know how many years they were in Nashville after their move from Houston, but it couldn't have been too many before that Super Bowl. And even they were good. Eddie George, I had an Eddie George jersey.
McNair.
Steve McNair, yeah.
Frank Wycheck, come on, Kevin Dyson.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And they got there on that crazy miracle play against Buffalo.
Those should have been a penalty.
Yeah, the Music City Miracle. So that was a great season in general. Yeah.
I am worried, like what you said, Johnny. That trailer looks trash. I'm not so sure that me and Adam and Josh couldn't put a little trailer together that looked better than that. But I'll probably go see it just to do Kurt his
I would watch the trailer of you guys doing that trailer.
Hey, we might have to put that together. We could get that in the works.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, the Vermeil casting looks okay, but the rest, I don't know. We'll see.
For sure.
But all right, good stuff. So the Rams, that was just an area thing, close-ish to St. Louis, or how'd that happen?
Yeah, so I guess really when I started watching football, and I'm sure it was late 90s some too, but we didn't have a local team. I mean, Cincinnati is probably 4 hours from where we sit. Honestly, St. Louis was about the same. And then Tennessee came around with the Titans, and I've always hated the Titans, honestly. I don't know why. It's just kind of been one of those things where I've always just kind of despised them. So even though I don't know, I don't think the Rams have ever been really prolific. There were those good years with Warner, but I stuck through the whole Jeff Fisher years, and they felt like my local team. I'm kind of different too. I go against the grain a little bit. I'm not just like, yeah, UK basketball. Let's like UK basketball. I'm kind of like, let's like Duke. Like, I don't know. Let's be hated for something, you know? I don't really mind that. I kind of enjoy it a little bit, actually. This is digging out maybe a little deeper thoughts than I really was thinking we were going to get to tonight. But yeah, man, I've always kind of flowed against the grain. Even here with the big three, Adam and Josh might like a guy like Trey Hendrickson or hate a guy like Trey Hendrickson. And, I might just happen to like him for 2021. I'm okay with that.
I love it.
Oh, Bobby, you're a treasure. All right. Cool, man. Cool. So, all right. So I guess let's just dive into the outlook for the Rams this year. So you now have Rams fan and Rams fan because of Mr. Stafford and mini Rams fan over there. And I've always had a soft spot for the Rams. Like I said, I got a Mark Bulger jersey. How could you not like Sean McVay and his hot wife and Aaron Donald, the cheek clapper supreme? Like, come on. What is there not to like about the Rams these days?
Hey, you're preaching to the choir here, Johnny. And I'll give you my outlook, but I genuinely want to hear more from you guys about Stafford. Because me and Josh kind of have a little bit of a disagreement here about Stafford and Wentz, honestly. I'm kind of coming around on Wentz a little bit, but I'll give you my outlook. So me and a buddy of mine, Jordan Ball, he was on an episode a couple months ago when Adam and Josh were on vacay. And me and him talk Rams pretty regular. And so my Rams outlook, I think they're going to be 12-5, which is, I'm sure we all do this with our team. I don't want the Rams to be good because I don't kind of want to like mess it up. But then like deep down, you're kind of like, I think the Rams are going to be good this year. You know what I mean? You kind of don't want to screw it up. So I'm going to go ahead and say a solid 12-5. Here are my 5 losses. I'm going to say losses to the Colts, the Giants, the Packers, the Cardinals once, and then the Ravens. They have a bunch of other good games. I think they're going to play really well in the division this year because I think the NFC West is a little bit I feel like people probably think it's better than they're going to play this year. But, yeah, Stafford boys, you tell me what I need to be looking for here in 2021.
They're going to beat the Colts.
Okay.
And they're going to kick the shit out of the Giants. Those are the only 2 I heard.
That's my dumb game for the year. They have one dumb game. That's my pick in New York.
Sure. And if you're picking a dumb game like any of the other ones you count as wins, that could be a dumb game for sure. You're going to like Stafford, though.
Yeah.
All the shit that they couldn't do with Goff, they can do with Stafford. Stafford's going to make his mistakes. He's not going to make any more mistakes than Goff makes, and he's going to be able to make a hell of a lot more throws than Goff does.
Woo. Stafford also can be a game winner. He's the kind of guy that you don't count out even when there's 20 seconds on the clock. If the ball is in his hand, he will make something happen. Like, how many miracles did he have in the last 3 years compared to just, he's got the ball, but the time ran out.
He's got that
run out for him.
He's got that clutch shit where it's like, okay, like we're down 7 points. We got 30 seconds to go. It's like, okay, I feel pretty good about that. Never had that in my life, obviously, because Lions quarterbacks have always been garbage. But like, that's a real thing. And it's a story I tell on here frequently where like I was at the Lions-Vikings game and my buddy turns to me. Lions have the ball at their own 20-yard line. It's like 26 seconds, enough for your boy Stafford. And I'm just all wasted. I just turn to him and go, plenty. And sure as shit, win the game. Yeah. That's where it's at.
That was the Golden Tate
flip into the end zone.
Nuts into the defender into the end zone.
Straight ass into Sendejo's face. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the type of confidence that you get in him where like you're not going to feel good about every single play. He makes his mistakes. He makes his dumb throws. But, like, you're going to know that he can make every throw in the game, and at any moment he can win it for you.
So riddle me this one. Who's going to be his receiver?
I would guess Cooper Kupp. I wish you guys still had Brandon Cooks, because Brandon Cooks plus Stafford.
We do. We got Deshaun Jackson. Come on.
That's not the same shit.
Tutu Atwell.
That's not the same shit. Not the same shit. You guys are missing that dude that's going to go down the field, and that is the biggest detriment to what I expect from Stafford is you guys do not have that, and that is what he loves to do. He loves to find that guy that's going down the field, and you guys just don't have that because I don't know, man. What do you think Deshaun Jackson's going to be this year? I think
he's going to give you a good solid quarter and a half probably before he does something dumb.
Yeah. And he'll get 300 yards in that quarter with Stafford at quarterback.
So Nate, you agreeing? You're saying Cooper Kupp?
So, okay, I really like Cooper Kupp. I've been also liking some Bobby Trees.
Yes,
I always love Bobby.
Tyler Higbee, honestly, and I know John and Sean have the reservations as a cheap tight end that has a high ceiling. Probably a pretty low floor if he doesn't match up well with Stafford, but Stafford likes his tight ends, and Higbee's the only guy there, and had a really good
tight ends
efficiency.
that much.
Hawk had a decent year last year.
Sure, he had a decent year, but it's not like it's not like the type of year where you're like, oh, Stafford loves tight ends.
Well, what I'm saying is, from a fantasy football perspective, Higbee is incredibly cheap and has a high upside. So I'm getting him everywhere I can. And so I like that. Stafford does like that check down throw as well, which generally goes to your tight end. And then whoever ends up crossing the field as your slot wide receiver is probably going to get, Kupp. I don't know what, like, Tutu Atwell also as just a rookie, like, rotation piece also kind of intrigues me. But the way I look at it is this is Stafford's best shot. He's got the best roster, the best coaching, all of this stuff. You know he's going to come into this season. If it's not a replay of, 2016, when he was willing it. Like, build us into the playoffs based off of, like, just being clutch, winning these games, and just saying, fuck you to the time. And if he doesn't come with that same energy, like, does he deserve a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You know,
his weapons are not that good right now. I'm sorry. Like, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, love them both. But, like, the overall picture of the offense with Tyler Higbee and the combo of Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers in the backfield, like, the draw to the Rams is Sean McVay. The weapons themselves, super not impressive.
Oh, wow. I like Akers. I'm Akers.
Sorry.
I like it. He's got better weapons than he did in Detroit, for sure. Better defense, better coaching staff.
He's got similar weapons to what he had in Detroit.
Also, Van Jefferson, I'm kind of paying attention to a little bit for this year. I think for Stafford, what does it for me is that I feel like he has a heart. And with Goff, it was just all he was trying to be smart. Like, he was trying to just do what McVay wanted him to do. And so I think there's kind of two ends to it, to where we're going to kind of see Stafford in a really good offense with a really good offense to me, with a really good offensive mind, but you're also going to see Goff I don't know.
Trash offense.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but Goff without McVay is almost as intriguing to me.
So real quick though, like, if you had to compare them, Galladay, Marvin Jones, Hawkinson versus Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Tyler Higbee. The Lions' weapons win that.
I don't know. I've never been a huge Kenny Galladay guy. But I I think maybe Nate said it, but Bobby Trees is just kind of perennially slept on like every year. Like I got him in a deal
So's
this year.
Marvin Jones.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I agree. I like Marvin. I think Marvin is kind of, he could be the number 2 there in Jacksonville, honestly, ahead of DJ Chark, possibly. I do agree with you, Nate, too. Higbee is like, in some of the, Johnny's in a bunch of these best ball drafts with me and Markham, and it's like, why is Tyler Higbee the last round of this draft? Like, what are we doing? Like, I know there's Jacob Harris, Jacob Harris, I think is the guy's name, the new tight end that they just picked up this last year. People love his athleticism. We talked about him a couple pods ago. I don't really care about him too much. I think Higbee could have I don't want to say top 5 season, but maybe top 8.
All right. If you wanted to give me an over-under on where he ends up, where did you put him at?
With Higbee?
Yeah. Let me take the over-under. Let's bet something on it.
He's tight end.
They're projecting him at tight end 8.
I was going to say tight end 7.
PFF is tight end 8.
I'll take the over, I guess, on tight end 8. So like tight end 9+. And you pick the wager.
Oh.
As long as there's hold on.
X-lax.
No
butt stuff. Yeah. No butt stuff, no X-lax. We're talking money. We're talking merchandise. You pick whatever you want.
Boring.
Donation.
Jersey.
Whatever you want to do. Jersey's great. Yeah. Pick whatever you want.
We do the Popeye sandwiches most of the time. I think we had one last episode about I don't even remember who it was about now. Gregory Russo.
I don't even know if I have Popeyes in Minnesota.
Gift card. Just a chicken sandwich gift card. You send the other person
there we go.
Whatever,
yeah,
Wendy's, whatever.
All
Yeah.
right.
I like it.
Done.
Let's do it. Done.
Love it.
Put it in the books. That's cool. But so Higbee is definitely not being drafted even as a top 12 tight end right now. Like he's so cheap and people are not valued like trade value. He's not on anyone's radar.
And it's like, why? Because we just lost Gerald Everett to Seattle, which I actually like Gerald Everett a lot in Seattle. But it's like, I agree with you, Nate. It's like, why? He lost his kind of competition, essentially.
Yep.
I'm with you, man.
Stats last year as far as his consistency, his catch rate, all of those things. Like, I think it's the Goff effect. I think it's just the fact that last year, that offense really wasn't. I mean, Kupp, where did he end up? I think he barely broke the top 12, so he was barely a wide receiver 1. Bobby,
he was right outside of it. He was about 15, I think.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since they supported 3 wide receivers. So I don't know. I think it's just the Goff effect, and people are just devaluing, which doesn't make any sense because Stafford just showed up, and Stafford's able to. I mean, look how terrible the Lions have been for years, and yet you always get consistent points from him. You get consistent points from his offense.
I will say, go for it, Johnny.
No, I was just gonna say enough about some useless tight end no one cares about. Talk to me about Cam Akers. That's what I was getting to. Yeah, thank you.
You're not talking to the Cam Akers guy. You're talking to the Darrell Henderson guy there, Johnny.
Whoa! Okay.
I'm still a Darrell. I'm a Darrell stan, man. I can't get off of him. I keep waiting for him to come around. I didn't draft him. I got him essentially free in a trade last year, but I just think Cam Akers is great. I think that people are going to be disappointed with where they're drafting him this year. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a rotation than people are anticipating. I'm not saying 50-50, but it's going to be pretty close. Darrell Henderson, I think, had more 100-yard rushing games in 2020 than Cam Akers did. Cam Akers had one big boom game for like 35 points, and he looked great. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are definitely plays where he looked dynamic. There's also those same plays for Darrell Henderson. So I'm kind of staying away from Cam Akers early on in drafts.
Yeah, he's going 3rd consistently in all those best balls we're doing.
Wow.
No chance.
It's like him, Dobbins, Swift, like bing, bang, boom every time.
I don't like I at that level, I don't really like any of those guys. Like Swift, I'm nervous about because of the offense. Dobbins have never been really in on, and Akers, like I like him. If I could get him or have him, I'm happy with it. But I don't know if I'm going to get him as RB3, off the board.
Cam Akers is not going to be Todd Gurley of 2016 or 17 or 18, whatever year he was, just those years he was dynamic. I don't think McVay wants that, honestly. I think McVay kind of wants to be that Shanahan type to where he might. I mean, look at last year, week 1, Malcolm Brown had almost 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Watch Darrell Henderson come out week 1, and all these Cam Akers owners are just going to be crying. So I don't know, man. McVay's funky, dude. He tries to be weird with all stuff. I do love Cam, but I don't know. I'm still a Darryl guy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's shift gears a little bit. How about the defense? Any worries there? I mean, linebacker. Beyond that, safety maybe. What are your thoughts?
At least there's a little bit of experience there between Kaiser and Reeder now. I do like Ernest Jones just because of the draft capital that they put behind him. I don't understand the Tutu Atwell in the second because he probably would have been there in the fourth. But Ernest Jones in the third means that Sean McVay and the team understands that there's an issue. I do think you could probably put Nate behind Aaron Donald, and Nate would probably get you 8 solos that game. I genuinely think that. Nate's got broad shoulders. Could probably fill a running hole and just,
lay down.
Maybe even get double digits if you include your assisted, But
if it's against Darren Sproles, maybe because he might be a little bit smaller than me.
Okay. I think you're not giving yourself enough credit, Nate. I think you'd be fine. But no, I agree with you, Johnny. I hated the Leonard Floyd re-sign. I know everybody kind of wants to roll it back, and even with Stafford, you're essentially saying as a team that you only have so long to really go after
the window is open. Go through it. Yeah.
So I think that was kind of what created the Leonard Floyd deal. And it's not my least favorite, but it's okay. I don't know how much y'all listen to our show, but the You're Not That Guy being John Johnson a couple weeks ago was piercing to my heart. Because honestly,
that guy.
Mentally, I have treated him as a top 5 safety for the last however long. And shout out to Josh's consistency charts on our website. He's just not, man. And it was really upsetting to see. And maybe even Corey Littleton too. It's like maybe the defensive coordinators and the staff knew what they were doing, letting those guys go. I'll let y'all talk, but the last thing I'll say is I guess the main thing I'm concerned about is not the players, it's the new defensive coordinator coming in. I'm a huge Brandon Staley guy. I'm almost to the point to where I'm like a half freaking Chargers fan at this point because of Derwin and Kenneth Murray and everything. But yeah, man, I hope the learning curve is fast because I think we have a good chance to make a run deep-ish in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do have a quick question just as a fan, especially of Stafford and the Lions and the drought it's not a drought. It's literally a desert of championships that we've got. But
it's
looking at
Mars,
there is no water.
There's no water. It's never coming.
So you're looking at your window. You've got Stafford there. What do you do? Do you have the plan for, let's say this is your window. So we're hoping you get to the Super Bowl. Do you have a plan for that? Are you going to be there? Like, I know the Rams are different because they have obviously Super Bowls in their history where the Lions, like for me, it's like if the Lions ever make it to the Super Bowl, my father-in-law is buying us tickets and we're going to be there. Do you have anything like that with your fandom?
Honestly, I am super old school and we have a farm and we've got way too many flowers behind the house and I've got multiple children and these 2 idiots here that make me sit in this sewed shack once a week. So genuinely speaking, I'm not really an in-person type guy. If you want to go and enjoy it and go to the bars and like hang out and whatever, that's great. I go to bed pretty early. I'm a pretty boring dude. I like my television. I don't want tons of people over. I want to eat what I'm going to eat. I want to watch
Yeah.
the freaking game.
Yes.
So if you want to go and get the experience, that's great. That's awesome. But if they're in the Super Bowl, my hind end will be sitting in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
I'm
with
struggling
Bobby.
with the fact that you just compared the other big three guys to your children.
They are my children. I have to keep. I'm older than them. I have to keep watch on them, especially Adam.
I could see that, and I'm with you, Bobby. I'm all in-personed out with my NFL experiences. Watching a shirtless guy get tased and his children dragged away as he was arrested a couple years ago at a Patriots game was about the last one for me. I was fucking done.
Yeah, it was awful to see them do that to Adam that day. I remember that day.
I think it's just privilege. It's privilege of your teams. The Rams, the Cowboys, y'all got, you probably lived through a few Super Bowls.
You guys have had this experience. You had the Super Bowls, you had the playoff wins. We've had nothing. I would kill for that.
Yeah.
It's like Philly going and winning the Super Bowl. Like it's part of our DNA. We got to go crazy, and we've got to
stop.
Don't got to eat horse shit.
Eat horse shit.
Thank you. Who could have seen that coming? Don't compare us to Philly, Nate.
We haven't talked about that since season 1. We were all about that for season 1.
That was
full circle. All about that. That was terrible.
That's a great way to celebrate a title. Is to eat some horse shit.
Eat horse shit.
Not that bad.
Electric poles or whatever.
They're greased poles, remember? They greased the poles.
They do that in Madison. For Madison Halloween and for Madison Mifflin Block Party, they grease all the poles because people climb them. So yeah.
See, now if the Lions win the Super Bowl, Detroit's going to go up in flames. That's just going to happen. Like
Steel City, though. Detroit. I mean, most of it will still be.
And
there
if they lose, they'll also
point.
Burn down Detroit.
Right.
It's built well for a fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Built for tough.
Yeah. There you go. Awesome. So, all right. So that was a good chunk of Rams talk. Let's get you through the other usual shenanigans here. So, Bobby, all right. So you were a football fan. How'd you get into fantasy and IDP? So how'd you end up on IDP Twitter? How did that happen? Like, how'd you get into IDP? Like, where did that happen?
I mean, you're going to hear me say the words Josh and Adam too much, but, I mean, genuinely, we have I don't even know how many years we've been playing Back of the VIP, which was kind of the precursor to the XFFL. It's been on a NFL Network. We've played it on ESPN, but it's our home league get together for the big blowout draft and everything. And then that's the last time that like 8 of those 10 guys will check their lineup. It's just a good time. But I think maybe in Yahoo, in another league that I'm in here in Bowling Green, or maybe it was the VIP, we started kind of creeping a couple of defensive players in back in 2005, 2010, maybe. And, I'm a big fan of just play some type of IDP. You don't have to, Big Three's not going to, shut you down if you don't play freaking defensive tackle leagues and cornerbacks and blah, blah, blah. We just want you to get started however you can. If that means in your home league, you just throw in, 2 flex spots for defense and you're going to throw in Darius Leonard and Myles Garrett, freaking go for it. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, man. And then me and Josh obviously started the league pod, which the league has grown. It's a pretty close knit group of guys now, which, most of these leagues turn into. And then Adam came in on the pod, like everybody knows. And then one day Adam actually brought it up and kind of was like, wait a minute, why don't we actually start a podcast out of this? And from that has come the ranks, and I've ranked a little bit before. Nate knows that, dealing with me with the magazine. I got to write a little bit about Isaiah Simmons and T. Higgins last year because my wife's from Clemson. But it came out of necessity more than anything. We have listeners that have been asking for it. Josh loves his consistency charts. Adam's been, doing a bunch of the ranks and stuff this year. So as a cohesive little group, we kind of, us three can kind of tackle it together pretty decent. But yeah, man, I'm just a big fan of, if you're not playing IDP, just start small and see if you like it. And I promise you will. Get rid of kickers and throw some defensive players in this year and see how it pans out.
So
love it.
I got a question regarding that, because as a guy that started off with full IDP, I never got that transition experience into it.
Yeah.
how did that go for you? You said like you guys
Yeah.
threw in a couple and then you went on. Like, did you feel frustrated by having like one or two flex spots and that motivated you to move forward? I mean, I think there's a big conversation happening in the IDP community about this transition of going from only offense to how do we get people into defense, and there's different people having all these different ideas on how to do it.
Mhm.
And just like, how did that play out for you?
I think in fantasy, especially IDP, people aren't patient enough. People want Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to come in and be a top 5 linebacker, and he's not going to be.
Yeah.
So it takes time. The individual players are fun, but it's like running Keenan Allen up against Justin Jefferson when you're doing that. It's like both of these guys are really good wide receivers. Both of these defensive players are going to score 15 to 20 points wherever you're playing. So the patience comes when you do jump into the bigger leagues. And I remember I think it was Adam, might have been Josh, called me back in, I guess it was 2014 or 2015, whenever we started the big league. And they were like, hey, so we've got this league that we're starting. It's on Reality Sports Online, and we want you to check it out. We want you to really think about it for a while and get back to us. And they'd never done this about fantasy football before. I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, what's going on? So long story short, I jumped into it. I've made the playoffs a couple times. I'm not going to sit here and be like, playoffs 8 years running. I mean, there's some years where you're like, well, that didn't pan out. RSO is great. It's not for everybody. Sleeper's probably the best introductory, IDP platform. But to answer your question, Nate, I mean, it's you're not going to eat an elephant, just one bite. It's going to take a little while, and you're going to have to listen to podcasts, and you're going to have to check out ranks, and you're going to have to make some bad trades and learn from them and understand where to, place your value in drafts and stuff. But if you listen to IDP guys, you listen to the big three, we'll set you straight.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely took that elephant full board in one bite. Johnny got me set up a league, full IDP, the whole thing. Won it my first year. So
nice. Hey, Josh and Adam both have a ship, and I don't. So maybe they should be here.
I also can't believe Johnny let that happen.
I was on drugs, seriously, at the time. I really was.
Hey, you can blame that. That's accurate, Johnny. That's good.
No, I really was. Yeah,
I know that, and I'll accept that as an excuse.
It's valid. Checks out.
Would never happen sober.
I don't know how that happened, but yeah, no, I won. I beat our buddy Steve, and then we had a rematch in the championship game like 5 years later, and I beat him again.
Nice.
You won twice?
His home league. Yeah,
his home league. Yeah.
Oh, not with you though.
No, Johnny's in it.
I've been in there. I've won it a couple times too.
Yeah.
So when you say his home league, you mean your guy's home league?
No,
Johnny's got his.
I've got a home league. He's got a home league. We've all got home leagues. We're in like 40 fucking leagues.
Right. I know that. I'm saying, did you let Nate win twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
I think I've got 2 ships in that league.
It's because he drafted Tyler Higbee where he needed to be drafted.
There you go. There you go. Bobby, talk me through your early favorites. Who are your early favorites?
I have one guy that super stands out. And this is in the early like ESPN Yahoo days. Freaking D'Amico Ryans.
Yes, Texans. Yeah,
we talked about him a couple weeks back, and Josh and Adam papered over it real quick. But yeah, man, that dude ate for the Texans for a couple years, and that was probably like his good years were, I don't know, 2011, 2012, 2013, probably somewhere in there. Yep. He was awesome. Probably 150 tackle years. I don't remember his stats off the top of my head. Yeah, I loved him. I'm trying to think of who else I was a big fan of. We'll talk about it. Some of them. I like the early Robert Quinn years back when, like, before people paid him and he actually like would play for a team for a decent amount of money and actually like produce. But yeah, I'll talk about some more of them here in a little while on some of my my Mount Rushmores. But especially D'Amico Ryan stands out.
Yeah, I love D'Amico Ryans, DeQuell Jackson, London Fletcher, all those guys. They were so good.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's launch right into that then. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of IDP greats?
So I'm a little weird as far as the greats. These are more either people that like, I don't know, made me feel some type of notoriety or just people that I love. So I'm going to give you one at every position. So my linebacker would have been James Laurinaitis. The dude never had less than 100 tackles a season with St. Louis. Just growing up, he was just a guy that I kind of always remembered there in St. Louis, just as like the anchor of that defense and kind of the early. I mean, he kind of just reminds me of like your maybe not Kuechly. Kuechly is definitely better, but Kuechly type, Blake Martinez, just middle of that defense, just racking up tackles. I'll tell you, so my defensive tackle was Jarrell Casey. He taught me about not only like how good he was, but the scarcity of how limited defensive tackles are in the NFL. I remember him in my early years of playing with the XFFL, and he was just DT1, and that was just so underappreciated. I didn't really recognize it until, later on. I was like, man, he's pretty good. Defensive end, Leonard Floyd, because with what the Rams just paid him, I feel like he deserves to be on this list.
Jesus Christ.
So just because of cash value alone, we're going to go with Leonard Floyd. My last two, Minkah Fitzpatrick. He was on our first ever Big Three episode where we talked about our dark horse breakouts. And Minkah at the time was still kind of a cornerback / safety type hybrid. Maybe even played a little slot corner at the time. I don't remember.
He was mostly slot corner in the beginning. Yeah.
And then when the big deal happened, he ended up being, I think, a safety one that year. And that was like my one big, I felt like I was somebody. I was like, yeah, man, Minkah panned out. Like I actually, people might think I know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, so I don't like Minkah now. Don't draft him now. But back then he was great. And then, so talk about don't draft, but good in the past. Adoree Jackson. He was one of my early rookie draft picks in like a 4th or 5th round probably. And I don't like drafting cornerbacks and wouldn't do it now. But when he was returning kickoffs and returning punts, he was solid, man, there for a couple years for the Titans, even though I'm not a Titans fan. But yeah, man, some weird Mount Rushmores, but I'll stick to them.
So Adoree Jackson, did you watch the bowl game with him where he tore his ACL, I think?
I don't think so. Wait,
okay. So that was USC versus Penn State.
Okay.
And one of my favorite bowl games ever. Go back and watch that. It was Chris Godwin, Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley, Adoree Jackson. I think Robert Woods was in that one. Ronald Jones. Dang. All of them in the same bowl game. And it was a sick fucking game. Go back and watch that.
We'll check that out.
Nice. That's good shit. All right, Bobby. How about any sleepers? I know you got sleepers. I listen to the Big Three show, so we'll go with a couple.
I do have some sleepers, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I've got one essentially for every position. So I did a little research. So my LB is actually going to be Jerome Baker for this year. A lot of people have said he's maybe not quite a sleeper because Baker's been around for a couple years, but I think we could really see Baker really take a step this year. We all know he just got re-signed to the 3-year deal with the Dolphins. Kyle Van Noy's gone back up north to New England. And Baker showed out really well in 2020. He had 69 solos, 42 assists, 7 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 3 passes defended. I also love how he closed out the year for his owners with a 32, a 24, and a 24-point performance when it counted, and that's what you're going to remember these guys for. Weeks 14 through 16, right. He showed out for his owners last year. So I'm drafting the hell out of Jerome Baker right now. My defensive end is a little bit funky, but it's actually Josh Sweat. I think his opportunity might be better this year. He only saw 39% of the defensive snaps there in that Jim Schwartz led defense in 2020. Now he's with Sirianni. I think we just talked last episode about Sweat, and I have him between my DN 13 to 24 range. I'm hoping that now Schwartz is gone. Maybe they let Sweat play double what he played last year. 39% is not enough. I think he had 6 sacks in 2020. I just really like his potential. His athleticism is just he's a little bit raw, but I think he's a great pass rusher. I hope they let him play more this year. Defensive tackle, we just talked about Jarrell Casey. It's kind of hard to find those. So this one's also a little weird, but Christian Barmore up in New England, I kind of like. A lot of people thought he might be a first-round pick, but he fell to the Pats in the second round of this 2021 draft. The D-line there is kind of shaping up a little bit. He's going to play beside of Devon Godshaw, Lawrence Guy, new free agent signing Matt Judon, Chase Winovich, and actually somebody I still kind of pay attention to in deeper drafts, Josh Uche, I believe is his name. I like Uche kind of in deeper leagues, but I just like Barmore. He's a little raw, but I think they could kind of shape him up in New England to maybe be somebody. He's got some decent pass rushing potential there. My safety is a little bit weird, and Adam kind of disagrees because he likes Amos more. But I'm thinking for our flag plant episode, my guy this year might be Darnell Savage. A lot of guys are drafting Amos ahead of Savage, and that's kind of fine. I'll let them do that. I think it was pretty clear to most IDP guys. Hey, that's a good, nice little pun. To most IDP guys that mid-season Savage kind of figured something out. Weeks 10 through 17, he averaged 15.6 points per game. In those games, 43 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 4 interceptions. Nobody really knows quite yet what that linebacking core is going to look like for Green Bay. Is it going to be Campbell? Are they going to run Barnes out again this year? So while they're still figuring that out, I'm drafting Savage and Amos, honestly, pretty high. And then I'm gonna hit home a little bit close to my heart here towards the end for cornerback. Darius Williams, PFF's 4th ranked cornerback in 2020. Shout out Macri. The Rams lost Troy Hill and John Johnson to free agency. Obviously, both of them to the Cleveland Browns. And the Rams actually placed a first-round tender on Williams this offseason. 37 solos, 1 tackle for loss, 7 assists, 4 interceptions, and 14 passes defended in 2020. So I think Darius Williams is good, but I think more than anything, he's also going to have to step up for the Rams with the absence of especially my boy Troy Hill in the Rams secondary. So, yeah, read them and weep. Those are my kind of low-key sleepers for this year.
Nice. I love it. I know Sean liked a few of those for sure.
The Savage pick, man. I'm all in on Darnell Savage. So been in since he was drafted. Still all in.
Yep.
Josh Sweat too. I saw you cranking the fist bump.
Yeah. I was a big Josh Sweat guy. I had a first-round grade on him, 1 in the 4th, and I felt really bad about that at the time. Feel really good now.
Yeah, I like the Darius Williams. If he's Troy Hill-esque shit, yeah, you're talking. Yep.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. All right, Bobby. So we're in a ton of these best balls together. So I've seen your draft strategy, but for all the fine folks out there, what's your typical IDP approach for your general kind of startup or best ball or whatever? Are you a fade linebacker guy, a fade defensive line guy, or what's your general take? If it's normal, degenerate IDP, the full shebang, DTs, CBs, DE, not baby IDP sleeper, real IDP.
So do y'all kind of get like I do? I guess maybe I get a little bit cocky and I'm like, I'm good on IDPs. I'm just going to fade it all and I'll just draft a great offense.
I've done that. Yep.
It's not great. I kind of have done that from time to time in some of these best balls and then looked at the end. It's like, Corey Littleton's LB1. I'm not so sure how this is panning out for me. But the more best balls I do, especially for this year, I think I'm finally getting comfortable in drafting my defensive line early, and then I'm okay to fade my linebackers and my DBs. I want a Myles Garrett. I want a Chase Young.
Yep.
I want a Montez Sweat. I'm not a TJ Watt's fine. TJ Watt's actually really good. I sleep on him too much.
If you don't say Brian Burns, we're gonna have problems.
He's coming next. Brian Burns is probably next. So I've got probably 5 to 6 guys I feel comfortable with. And then I want to grab another one pretty quick too. You can grab some of these Darius Smiths a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But I feel way more comfortable just grabbing my LBs and my DBs like super late.
So I got a question to ask here. We just put up a graphic on the IDP guys Twitter, It was an A or B player comparison. Right now, very close ADPs. You got Bobby Trees and you got Nick Bosa. Considering that 3 DLs went off the board before you make this decision, who are you taking, Bosa or Bobby Trees?
Nate, this is so easy for me. And the answer is Bobby Trees.
Oh,
I'm not a Bosa guy, man.
okay.
We talked about it last episode or 2 episodes ago, maybe. I want to see it again. He was great when Armstead kind of looked okay. DeForest Buckner was still there. Saleh was still there. I don't know. I think that defensive line, I don't know. They have Samson Ebukam. I'm not a big Ebukam guy. I don't know. I'm not a Bosa guy.
So
let me Joey.
Let me change the question just slightly. Maybe it's not Nick Bosa. Do you take a DL or Bobby Trees with 3 DLs off the board?
So the 3 being Garrett, Young, and Watt.
Yeah.
Well, Watt's not a DL in most places.
That's true.
That's the baby IDP version.
So we'll say Joey.
Hunter.
Joey.
Okay.
We'll say Joey or Hunter. One of those.
Yeah.
So are you taking Joey or Hunter, or are you taking Robert Woods?
I'm taking Robert Woods.
And I think for me, the question entirely depends on the scoring.
Yeah, I could see that. See that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just think Robert Woods could have a 1,200-yard year, which I know is a lot.
He's always good. He's always good. Yeah.
It's just an interesting question, especially with right now the IDP guys ADP, to throw out the, they're next to each other. They're literally it's Bobby Trees then Nick Bosa right there. So,
that's a great question. Hey, so answer me this one. So would you all, I'm assuming y'all would probably rather have a D in there. What about in Dynasty? Obviously, you're probably not drafting Bobby Woods or Robert Trees. Or Bobby Forrest, however we can say his name.
And again, it totally depends on the scoring. But for me, in like big play scoring, there is almost nothing more timelessly priceless than a like top tier defensive end. Because those guys will last their entire career.
Yep.
Well, and even in best ball, there's just so few. Like it's almost like defensive tackle. Defensive tackles, there's even less. But
That's
there's only
worse,
there's only like 10 good DNs maybe, and after that it's like Josh Sweat, Yetur Gross-Matos. I mean, it's like maybe I had
it gets weird.
I had Josh Sweat last year, and he was fine as a DN too, but he was my DN1, and every week I'm like, God, please have a sack, like just do something. So, anyways, great question though, Nate. That's one for me to think about.
Yeah, it's also interesting with that question because in the graphic that we displayed, Robert Woods, his ranking was higher than his ADP, and Nick Bosa's ranking was far lower than his ADP. So they were both right around pick 75. So what's that? The 5th, 6th round, maybe 7th round. And if the scoring is fairly balanced, like, you're probably struggling with that question of if you take that's the wide receiver 3 or your first DL.
Right. And that all comes down to the scarcity where it's like there's less DNs. So we're going to overdraft them above where their rank is just because there aren't many behind them. Whereas wide receiver there are.
So I'm having a hard time valuing Nick Bosa. So let's just say in a startup dynasty, and let's say it's because most of our leagues are relatively big play. What is he DN what for you all?
Nick Bosa?
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7.
Probably 5.
That's interesting. He's DL4 in both our ADP and our consensus rankings.
Okay.
But I think it's an interesting question too, and I don't think it's talked about a lot in IDP community of pairing offensive players with IDP and saying like, who do you got? It's always relative to their own positions. So I think that's a point for our community to get better is saying who's the wide receiver, the running back that's comparative to this top DL.
And I think we all see that as well. There for a while, and Adam still has them, but we had the combined ranks, and those are impossible to do. Like they're impossible because it's just you've literally got to change them every 30 minutes, it feels like. It's just so hard to keep up with, but there's such a need for it because I'm sure you guys are like us. The questions that we get in our DMs about trades are offense and defense.
Mhm.
Most people don't come to you and say, hey, I'm looking at trading this cornerback for this safety. What do you think? I mean, most of the time there's ranks out there that'll clarify that for you.
Yeah.
Most people are having a hard time saying, hey, should I trade Cooper Kupp for Joey Bosa? You know, it makes it more difficult for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of it does always come down to scoring and everything, which is why, like, from the IDP guys' perspective, we've always been trying to create things that help with that. Like when we partnered with you guys last year to bring the combined rankings, and obviously we've kept that and we've added to, now we have combined projections, and that's led to our scoring tool where people can go in and implement their scoring and see exactly where these players line up with our projections of, like, okay, so maybe your quarterback scoring is super bloated, so like you got all these quarterbacks, and then all of your IDPs are like at the bottom. You can start to get an idea.
And I love the projection. I just love the word projection, honestly, because I think it sounds great when I say it. But also, I don't think tons of people can project. Like, I think so many people in fantasy football just go to show me 2020 stats. And then when Yetur Gross-Matos averaged 4.2 points last year, he goes undrafted because people are like, well, there's no need to pay attention to him. But, defensive coordinators can change and situations can change. And Matt Judon is now in New England. And what does that look like? I mean, projecting the year is, I think Josh just recently said that's what wins you fantasy football championships, looking ahead. And it's okay. We're going to be wrong about a lot of this stuff, but when you're right on a couple of them, man, that stuff can make a year for you.
Yeah. That and adjusting real time in season, just as important.
100%. And listening and reading Johnny's cornerback article, that's going to get you another. Dude, I'm serious. I've told so many people, I'm like, look, y'all need to quit just filling in your cornerback spots. Go through, take 15 minutes on lunch and read Johnny's article and just make Johnny's making these educated guesses for you all. Like, don't be lazy. If you're playing IDP, like, go read a 15-minute article. He's going to get you maybe another 10 to 20 points on the week than whoever it was you were just going to throw in there because you liked his name and he wears a visor, and you might win that week.
What's wrong with visors?
Visors are they're the worst. They're the worst. In a roundabout way, they're the worst. I told Josh and Adam the other day, I'm team anti-drip this year. I don't want to see any visors.
Wow.
I don't want to see any of this bull crap. Just get out and play football for me.
Cut him off. He's out.
Well, I definitely appreciate that plug, Bobby. Hey, so while we're projecting things, I know you love that word. Let's project your ones this year.
Yeah.
So who you got? We'll start with the linebackers. Who you got? We'll break it up. So inside, outside linebacker. You're like edge guys. Inside linebacker 1. Who you got?
Inside linebacker 1. As much as I want to say Kenneth Murray or Isaiah Simmons, it's actually going to be Roquan Smith again for this year.
That's what I said. Yep.
I love that they're going to just run it back. Danny Trevathan's still there. That defense is still kind of the same, even though I hate that they let Kyle Fuller go to Denver. Big Fuller guy. But I love Roquan, man. Even though he, whatever Josh says, murdered somebody and had strippers in his car a couple years ago, and everybody kind of panned over that like really quickly. Yep. I think Roquan's talented,
real quick.
I hope they let him rush the quarterback maybe a little bit more this year. I'd love to see him in that 5 to 6 sack a year range. I'm not saying he's the best defensive player in the NFL, but as far as my inside linebacker 1, hey, give me Roquan.
Love it. I'm with you. How about outside linebacker? Is it TJ or someone different for you?
This is somebody different, and this is somebody that, I don't know, y'all might hate, but I've been coming around on here lately. I think he's at that prime grown man stage in his life to where you're just like, dude, this guy is perennially slept on, and he's about to have a year. And that guy is
Singletary.
That guy is Zadarius Smith.
Oh, okay. I know
it's far fetched.
No,
anybody else on here could go and talk about TJ Watt or whatever.
No,
But
it's not far fetched. I like
I
it.
love Big Z, man. Shout out Kyle B. He put me on Big Z a couple years ago. I've loved him ever since then.
Yeah, Big Z. We love Big Z. Big
It's
Z.
a good take.
Yeah. How about defensive end? Who you got at defensive end one?
Well, then close your ears if you like that take, because my defensive end one is going to be Brian Burns of the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh-wee.
The N1. Get out of the way, Myles Garrett. Chase
that
Young.
guy.
Step aside. It's Brian Burns' time. That defense is going to be better this year, I think. I think that team's going to be better. And I think it's going to give Burns opportunity to just kind of pin his ears back and try to sack the quarterback. So, we're all kind of Brian Burns stands around the Sode Shack. So, a little far-fetched, probably like Zadarius Smith, but I love it, man. I'm a big Burns guy.
No, I could see it. It's not my bet, but I could see it. Yeah, I'm with you. How about DT? Is it the cheek clapper supreme, or you got someone else?
I'm going to be different because we all know what the right answer is. But the wrong answer is DeForest Buckner.
That's a good answer, though. It's a good answer.
I like Buckner. I hate Josh because I had Aaron Donald and DeForest Buckner last year, both in our DT premium league. And Josh was he didn't want to come knocking for him. And then I traded Buckner to McCree, and the first notification I saw the next day, old Buckner was gone from McCree to Josh. So I like Buckner, man. I think people are sleeping on the Colts. I think Buckner is going to be better on that line this year. I love his size, man. Just you see him rush the quarterback, and you see that length and that athleticism. Kind of reminds me of Montez Sweat a little bit. I'm a big DeForest Buckner guy. I think Adam calls him the whole what does he say? The whole damn Forrest Buckner, which I'm a big fan of.
Oh, I love it. All right, how about safety? Are you gonna say Derwin, or are we gonna get a surprise here?
We're gonna go with my 3. No. He might have been a 4th rounder. Let's just say my 312 in 2020 in the XFFL, Jeremy Chin. I love Chin, man. I love what he does. I love that they really didn't add a lot of linebacker help there in Carolina. We're wanting to talk about, is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? Nobody freaking cares. Week 1, he's going to have 12 tackles. He's going to be all over the field. I'm a
hot dog.
Yeah, you might not find a bigger Chin guy than me.
Love it. Okay.
Jay Leno, maybe. Big Chin guy.
Big chin guy.
Yeah, and it's just Shaq Thompson and Jermaine Carter in front of them, so it's fine.
Do they have Tahir still, or is he gone?
He got displaced by Carter last year.
Nice.
So, yeah. How about corner? Who you got at corner?
So I'm going to give this one a little shout out to Johnny here for putting me on him last year. 70 solos, 23 assists, 5 tackles for loss, 7 pass defended, 1 sack, 1 interception to Ron Johnson. I love him, man. I don't know what it is about him. I do love when my cornerback racks up some tackles, because that's a whole lot easier to replicate than it is the 10 interceptions that Xavier Howard got in 2020.
Right.
So I like how that could stay steady again for 2021. Cornerbacks are hard to project, but just because Johnny put me on him and won me a bunch of games down the stretch, I got to give you a little credit for that one, man. I like Tehran a lot.
Bill's got some great corners too. Tre'Davious has some good games. Levi Wallace has some good games. Like yeah.
Jordan Poyer just slept on for years.
Yeah.
Look at Tampa corners.
Oh,
that's enough. That's enough of that.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, that's good shit. That's definitely a couple different answers than we normally get, but that's good. That's good stuff. Bobby does like to go against the flow, so that's awesome.
That's right.
Bobby, let's get your stupid, massively early prediction for the year. Who wins the AFC title, the NFC title, and the Super Bowl?
All right. So my AFC champ this year is going to be the Indianapolis Colts.
What?
At 13-4, they're going to finish the year. I love that team, man. They have everything. Carson Wentz has been a possible MVP before in his past. I don't think that much has changed. Their wide receiving core is interesting. They've got plenty of tight ends, great offensive line. Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, he's great in punt and kick return. You and Adam's boy Rodrigo, and then the defense all around is just. I think the defense is just really good. Josh keeps sleeping on them, but I think the Colts are in a really bad division this year, and I think they could slip by some people and actually win the AFC. I know that's far-fetched. I'm not going to sit here and give you the chalk answers because that's dumb radio, but I love the Colts, man. As much as Josh hates, it makes me love them that much more.
Bobby, you're a gem. I love it.
So if you love that one, Johnny, just hold on.
Yeah, NFC.
My NFC champ for this year and my comeback player of the year for 2021.
The Detroit Lions.
The Dallas Cowboys are going to finish 14-3. Dak is going to come back and lead them to an NFC championship.
Wow. And then who wins that Super Bowl?
Face right now.
The 2021 Super Bowl winner is going to be the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God. I would be insufferable. I was
just going to say John would be insufferable for the whole year.
I love it, man. I love it. If you look at kind of teams that are flying under the radar, I honestly think as much as Jerry and the Jones family wants to hype the Cowboys, if that comes back healthy at all, he's got probably the best receiving core in the NFL.
Definitely.
I'm not selling Zeke right now. I still love Zeke, love Pollard. Hopefully they get their tight end room together. Great offensive line. I really like what they did on defense this year. I hope that Keanu Neal plays, a decent safety linebacker role for them because I think that's needed. Who knows what Micah Parsons looks like? But honestly, I genuinely think that the Cowboys could figure it out this year, and they could really make a deep playoff run in 2021. You look back those first 5 weeks of Dak, it was like, good gosh, like who's keeping up with this offense? Right. And if they run that back, that helps kind of that younger defense that much more. I think Micah Parsons was a bit of a reach for me. I wasn't really a Parsons guy, but I do like the landing spot. I think he can learn there in Dallas, and it's a little far fetched, but hey, Dallas hadn't won one in a while. It's about time.
Yeah, 95.
How is that your take? The Lions haven't won one in a while. It's about our time.
Running Jared Goff out too. That's enough of that.
Yeah, Lions don't give a shit about winning though. Jerry tries all the time.
Y'all are worried about biting kneecaps and
Jerry bribes all the time.
Y'all are worried about kneecaps and winning the tight end summit, whatever it is.
Yeah, and wiping butts,
wiping buttholes,
wiping butts. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, it's Johnny's guy.
Okay, Bobby, I love it. I'm a super pessimist Cowboys fan, so I'll take it. How about, all right, so last couple here. What's your all-time favorite football memory?
So this one was easy for me. October of 2003, Colts and the Buccaneers, Monday Night Football.
I remember that game. That game.
Manning leading the Colts back
with 7 minutes left, down 21.
35-14 point deficit. Kind of the paradigm that game was too. They had Tony Dungy there in Indy, and he had just helped build that defense of Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, I think was there as well.
It was after Tampa won a Super Bowl too. Yeah,
exactly. That offense for the Colts was one of my favorites of all time. Edgerrin James, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Peyton Manning. I don't remember what tight end was there at the time. But the biggest thing was I remember watching it with my dad. That one kind of being an early, time in my life where me and my dad were able to sit down and watch Monday Night Football. And I even genuinely remember, it's kind of like one of those September 11th things. You kind of remember where you were. I remember looking at him that night and being like, maybe we should just go to bed. And then be like, let's just watch a little bit more of it. And then just an hour later being like, what did we just witness? It was a pretty, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that big of a game. But it was just one of those ones that just made me love football that much more.
Yep. It stands out. I remember that game like it was yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man.
Great game. Great offense there that Colts had, too.
Yeah. Was that Dallas Clark was at tight end back then?
It might have been.
No, it was for sure. 100%.
I almost said Jacob.
No, I was going to interject, but I didn't.
I got you. Dallas Clark, man, he was good. He was really good.
He was. Yeah.
Look back at that game log. I bet he's got a good log.
Yeah, that big old stinky log. I love it. Oh, Bobby, this has been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to plug?
So the only thing, well, there's a couple things we plug, but the only thing we tell people that we plug, basically just listen to our podcast, Big Three IDP. We've got a great season coming up for our listeners. Obviously, you got me, Adam, and Josh. We're going to try to record either Monday or Tuesday, with probably a Tuesday or a Wednesday release. In season, this is week one, what you can expect. We got our boy John Macri from PFF that's going to be in the same thread, the Big Three IDP thread. He's going to have an episode a month. We got a new guy, Commissioner Evan Ronda. He's actually going to release his first sode in our feed next week with the big game theory for the intellectual type in IDP. Dr. Leesis is going to be back again this year with the injury report he puts out on Saturday. Super helpful. He's actually becoming a doctor, so that's like not just like me saying I'm a doctor. And then one of my favorites, DF Triple S, with Adam and Johnny going to be in the feed once every other week. And hey, I love that money y'all won me last year, so I'm expecting big tings again for this year.
Nice.
We're gonna be looking at some stinky logs this year.
Hey, if that's all you do, I'll be a listener for sure.
I gotta say, IDP Bob and Big Three, like, I love your show. I love what you guys bring. I think there's a special place for podcasters from the country with those, the special sayings and sauce that you bring to the show. So it's a whole different thing. Like out here, what are you guys looking at me like that? Like, come on, he's got a silver tongue. He's always got the greatest sayings. Like, you're telling me you talk to anyone out of Boston or Connecticut, and they sound anything but like nails on a chalkboard.
Mm-hmm.
Like talking to someone from Kentucky.
So you're saying you love his accent? Like this whole thing was that you loved his accent.
Yeah, and I'm saying
I'm loving this though.
As
Keep
a
it going, Nate.
That's amazing.
I know.
Like,
I'm just saying, like, you went through this whole thing to be like, we appreciate people like you. It's like you like his accent.
That's what I said.
Hey, I'm here for it, and I appreciate it because, I struggle with it honestly because I'm probably the one on the pod maybe you can least understand. Can you understand me or Adam better?
100%.
Oh no, we definitely understand you better than Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And really,
Adam's
here,
usually wasted though,
like
so
yelling.
the alcohol helps. It doesn't. It helps him or hurts him. Maybe it just
it
depends on how
definitely
you look
hurts
at
him.
it.
It hurts him.
Yeah. Adam
It
definitely
does.
gets rowdy though. The rowdy episodes are the ones that are my favorite. But no, I appreciate it, Nate. It's like you guys. When you develop rapport, when you have chemistry with guys, it's just it's one of those things you can't really replicate. And it helps that we do it in person and everything. And we know when to holler and we know when to be serious and we know when to play stupid drops on the board and everything. But I do feel like we get better with every year. I do kind of miss that I took a little bit of a break. It was a needed break last year, but I'm glad we're back on full strength. And I'm looking forward to the 2021 Big Three season for sure. But I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah,
Nate's
absolutely.
looking forward to hearing you talk.
I'm in sales, Nate. So if that helps anything.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I also I've got family from the country. There's always something, like little, I don't even know what you call them, like those little country sayings and stuff.
He is doubling down on this. He is doubling down.
Jim,
But-
that's right. Nate's right.
From
Johnny's
us,
right.
IDP guys is ending. I just can't see anyone to take up the mantle, that we're laying down more than the Big Three from just, the incredible energy, the poop jokes, you guys have the food comps, the chicken sandwiches,
the chicken. That's important.
More of both of those
awesome.
to come. I think we got a little sampler, I think, this week. I don't remember what Adam was telling me about. Popeyes has something new out, maybe.
Ooh.
Little spicy sandwich or a little chicken tender. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, man. If you want the best of all worlds, that's kind of our thing with when we started it. Nobody wants to sit here and listen to a bunch of drones talk about PFF had him ranked, blah, 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 and he had so many pass rush snaps and blah, blah. That gets old to a certain extent.
Oh, yeah.
I love it because I'm a little bit nerdy. But yeah, man, poop jokes. Who Who and we need to get on that too, Johnny. We haven't started that Big Dump Premium League yet. We need
yes,
get that best ball
I've
draft
been,
started.
Right. I've been drafting like it's Big Dump Premium
So
everywhere.
so that's a great question for you, Johnny. You're 101 Big Dump Premium. Who are you going?
Oh, it's Lamar. It's Lamar.
Oh, Lamar?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Odell gives him a run for his money, flying a lady across the country to crap on his chest. But Lamar leaving, during a game that had playoff implications to drop a dookie and then come back and winning. That's 101.
Is there a 103?
Yeah, there's a 103 up and comer. I tagged Johnny in this the other day.
That's right.
There's a college Debbie guy coming up. Crapped himself, I think, last year. So he's a solid up and coming 103 right now.
Okay.
101 in the rookie draft.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of teams in this league. Mostly probably me and Johnny. Probably Josh. I think Josh likes it as well.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Bob, for coming on. Man,
thanks for having me.
Great. Good to get you in, especially, as we're kind of ending. And
He's at IDP Bob on Twitter. Bobby, we love you. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, so let's go into our steak and our salad for the week. I do have to mention that one of our writers, Will Weiss, FF Skinny Chef, mentioned that this was one of his favorite segments of our show. And I questioned him. I said, really? Because I didn't really see it that way. It's just kind of a way for us to, kind of catch up with each other and do it live on the show. But he said it was a great way to see beyond us as fantasy analysts and see who we really are. So with that information, let's start off with steak. And Sean, why don't we start with you? What's your steak this week?
Okay. So I got it's not even a two-parter. They're not even related. I got two of them, which is a good week. So I am a big comic guy. I'm not like a comic collector. I'm somebody that buys them to read the stories. So I'm big into trade paperbacks, all that stuff. They're expensive though, like $25 pop, $20 pop. It's pricey. So I randomly rolled over to Half Price Books to look for a book I was looking to read and found out they sold trade paperbacks. And I found a fuck ton of the trade paperbacks I've been looking for a while. I got 12 of them for $80 and I was pretty thrilled about that. So I have a new outlet to go buy all those and it's literally right on my way to work. So I'm super thrilled about that.
That's cool.
Part two, One Piece. Been watching it and it's fucking amazing. Anybody that likes anime, watch One Piece. It's awesome.
What site are you watching it on?
I'm watching it on Funimation. But if you're you can watch it on Netflix for 350 episodes or something with dubs, and then you got to switch to Funimation if you want dubs.
Nice.
It's great though.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be willing to make that commitment. I've done
it's the best
before.
one I've watched, and you and I have pretty much agreed on all of them. So
nice, awesome. I'm in. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, no, those are pretty solid. Let's see, steaks this week. The Witcher 3. It's obviously several years past overdue.
Yeah,
but great game. Great game. It took me a minute, to get used to the older graphics, but I'm whatever. It's fine. The story is great. The RPG, just the depth of it is incredible. Never ends. I'm just scratching the surface. I'm 40 hours in. It's insane. And the series makes sense now. All of it.
Serious question. There's there are two types of people that play that game. The people that play Gwent and the people that don't play Gwent. Which are you?
Fuck Gwent.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Gwent is amazing and you can get fucked.
Oh,
it actually is fun. I just haven't had time. I have been buying cards though.
It's a very well thought out card game too, and you feel a sense of accomplishment when you knock it out.
So I had Witcher 3, and it actually got stolen from me. Purchased it with our Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, how do you think Johnny's playing it now?
Yeah, PS5, my friend.
Yeah. So this was last year, beginning of the pandemic. Somehow our Switch just disappeared from our entertainment center. Don't know if someone like entered the house, but it made no sense because like our TV was right there. So wouldn't you take the TV? Like, why would you just come in and grab just the Switch? So that was kind of dumb and sad or whatever. But I mean, we replaced the Switch, but we just haven't replaced Witcher 3, so I haven't played it. I had just gone through like the very beginning when it was
It's too large for your play style.
It's
yeah.
It's long. Yeah.
It's long, but it's also like it was kind of a game changer for side quests where like
Mhm.
previously it's like, oh, go grab this flower. Why? Because I want it. I'll give you 50 gold, and you travel across the entire world to get this flower. Talk to somebody, get it, come back, and you get 50 gold. Witcher 3 changed the game where they were like, okay, yeah, like go get this flower and I'll give you 50 gold. And you go and you get this flower and you get this whole intense story about like something. And it's this whole entire self-contained story that you get to the end and like you get something out of it. And
Wow.
they changed the game in that way where every side quest is meaningful, and that is how it should be.
Wow.
Yep. And then the monster contracts too are incredible because each monster is different. You got to prepare for them different, fight them different. It's wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ubisoft could learn something from them, and they should
Mhm.
learn something from them.
Yeah. Really, really
That's
good shit.
interesting. I have yet to finish Red Dead. That would probably be on my list before
Jesus
getting to
Christ.
Witcher 3.
American Venom is one of the greatest missions in all of video game history.
I agree with that.
Just going
I
up
don't
the
know what that
mountain. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, I was playing it. What was it when you were playing it? And I got to the island and then decided to start over, and that was the worst possible.
Oh
thing
no,
to
you
do.
gotta power through the island. That's
No. It was because the island. Watching you play, I knew after the island, I couldn't go back and do all those side quests. So I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna restart it. I'm gonna pay a little more attention. I was able to get the white horse, and it's just a matter of like, I just after that got really busy, and
that white horse was a bitch to get.
It was, but it was a game changer. If you got that right off the rip, oh baby.
And if that thing died, it was just like,
oh
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's on my list of things to do, but mainly I just turned my Xbox on to play a little Madden.
Oh, that explains it. You're an Xbox guy.
Yeah. So, but okay, so my steak, I actually really didn't prepare for this at all, but for this week, I would say the steak is, well, I'm starting a new project for a client, so this is a paid order, creating a website like platform for NFL draft content. It's called draftcountdown.com. So this week I really started getting to the meat of that project, and it's fun. It's fun to be able to create a new platform outside of IDP guys and stuff I've done in the past for someone else. Obviously getting paid for it, but then taking all of the knowledge that I've gained from the football industry and what we do, and being able to properly put all that stuff together for a client is I don't know. It's fun to me. I enjoy it. It's like a puzzle that I'm piecing together, and so just started that project, and it's fun. I enjoy it. So
Nice.
that's the stakes. Unless you guys want to say anything about that, but Sean,
Congratulations.
All right, so the salad. So I, like a drunken idiot, was at the bar on Monday of last week. So not this Monday, last week. And I got my foot caught on the bar stool when I was trying to go out and smoke a cigarette quick, and tripped backwards, and I was right up against the wall. So I just smacked my head on the wall and got knocked out cold.
What?
And so, like, definitely a concussion. Have not been the same. So last night was the first night where I didn't like get vertigo at all. Where like if I flip over too quick in my bed, everything starts to spin. So it feels like we're on the up and up now. And yeah, that's like serious.
Did you go to the hospital like you're supposed to?
No, I was out cold. Like I was out cold. I did. You have to expect somebody at the bar to bring me to the hospital and not just drop me off at home. And yeah, no, that didn't happen. So, so yeah, like it was bad. It was brutal. I still got a lump on my head, but like,
Jesus,
we're doing good now. Yeah, I wasn't even like that drunk, you know, like I was drinking, you know, about like where I was now, but hit the wall, done, out. That's it.
You just flopped. You just down.
wow,
Hit the wall, done. Hit the ground, out.
wow.
Yeah, so like
amazing.
very dangerous experience. Like in retrospect,
Yeah.
Johnny can see it absolutely from his face, but
Yep.
yeah, no, we're all good. It was just broken for the last week.
Yeah, well, hey, better to be lucky than good. So.
Yeah, well, and also like looking at it where it's like, how are they still in concussion protocol? It's been 2 weeks. It's like, yeah, as it turns out, that makes a ton of sense now. Like,
yeah, I've had a concussion.
A ton of sense.
I was like stuck in a Star Trek time loop for a week when I had mine. I kept like replaying the same day over and again. Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds like not a concussion. That sounds like interference from the above, but you know.
It was definitely a concussion. I went to Harvard Hospital. Oh shit. Wow, well that's a salad.
I was trying to avoid that one. I couldn't think any out of the salad though, so that's all I got.
Nope, that'll count. Yeah, I don't have anything too terrible. I am on antibiotics though and haven't taken a dump yet, so I will be spraying hot lava at some point. That's an automatic with antibiotics. Automatic.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'd like to do a count, go back through all our steak and salads and see what % of Johnny's have to do with his asshole.
At least 50.
I'd say like 35% is what I would go with. Steak or salad, 35% about his asshole.
Something around there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a selling point. What about you, Nate?
So my steak happened today. Woke up, my wife was stranded on the highway.
Salad happened today.
Yeah, you said salad, right?
Yeah, you said steak. Your salad.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
It's like feeling real good about my wife being stranded on the highway. Loved it. Left her there, went home, celebrated.
No, not quite. Yeah, definitely woke up to mass texts and missed calls of emergency. She was on the highway, broke down the serpentine belt. The drive belt just snapped on her. And so I had to figure out how to get out there. Then we dealt with an hour and a half wait for a tow truck. And then the whole ordeal took about 6 hours and luckily was only $300, considering what else it could have been. And yeah, that all led up to essentially right before we hit record.
Your real salad should be that wasn't out there because I just learned how to switch out and change a serpentine belt.
I know how to do it for the most part. I've done it before. It's just a matter of like, do I want to? I don't have the equipment to do it, so better have the professionals do it.
Should me
in
do
that
it.
Instance. Yeah,
I consider myself a professional in that field now.
Of just changing serpentine belts.
That's it. I don't know anything else about
That's
cars.
Okay. I once had to change a water pump in a old Sierra, like one of those boat cars. So like there's a little bit of room. It was overheating and the water pump broke. So I had to take the serpentine belt off, replace the water pump, and then put the serpentine belt back on. And that was a process. Took me about half a day. But that was back when I was a little more interested in doing that stuff.
I also can't wait for the mechanics to hear this and be like, that took you 12 hours. It took me 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh no, they'll look in the book. Oh, that's supposed to be a 30-minute job. But yeah, no, it's that really sucked today. So not super happy about it. But I do I've got a bonus stake. I restarted Game of Thrones. This could also be a salad. Restarted Game of Thrones this past week, and I do enjoy the early seasons of that show.
I didn't even hate the end as much as everybody else. I thought the ending made sense and it was clearly where it was going, and anybody that didn't think it was going there was dumb. I just also think that that's not where it should have gone. But
yeah,
I know you guys hated the Jamie and Cersei ending. It was like, I don't know, that made total sense to me, and that was poetic justice. That's what happens
after the White Walkers were gone. Just the sense of danger just fucking drove off a cliff.
Yeah,
sure. And that the thing is that's kind of the point of the entire series is like, the problem was never really the White Walkers, it was each other, where it was like Lord of the Rings, where it's like, yeah, if you can all work together, you can defeat this enemy, and nobody could work together. They defeated the enemy anyway, but they were the real enemies to each other the whole time, and that was the whole point, and we knew that the whole time because it's just a rehash of Lord of the Rings except a little darker.
Yeah,
little.
I think there were some things that they didn't exactly wrap up. I felt like the Jon Snow narrative didn't really. I don't know. It didn't. It just kind of ended early.
Him killing Daenerys was the right thing to do, but you're right. It was rushed because they were left with a fuck ton of things that they needed to finish up, and that was not going to happen in one season. And we were sitting there before the season being like, how the hell are they going to finish all this up? And we just had faith, and it was like, oh yeah, it'll be fine, it'll work out. And it's like, okay, no, there was not enough time. They needed 3 more seasons to finish up all these timelines. 2 more probably. But
and I feel like they could have had the money for that.
Oh yeah, they were, their own success hurt them too. They had other shit going on. They were all super famous. They ran out of book material, so the details weren't there anymore.
And and HBO was trying to fire up Westworld, and they did a great job with season 1, and then botched it with 2 and 3.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, no, that was the last little bit I wanted to throw in there. I'm giving it a just another shot of just what does this look like binge watching? Will it feel a little better once I hit that last season and I'm watching episode after episode rather than waiting for a whole week, having all of those what ifs, what could be's, just watching it for what it is. So we'll see how that plays out. But with that, let's get into Johnny the Greek.
All right, so we're continuing with the week 1 lines, which are obviously stupid early and don't take into account any of the injuries that are going to happen during preseason, training camp, or any of the other shenanigans. But hey, whatever, it's something, right? So the 2 I wanted to look at this week, and we might get a couple more in, depending, are these games look good. Week 1, Seahawks, Colts, Vikings, Bengals, Cardinals, Titans. All 3 of those look pretty solid, are all within 3 points on the spread. So let's start with Cardinals, Titans. This is at Tennessee. Titans are favored by 2.5, so they're minus 2.5. Who are you guys taking there? I think I'm going Titans, but that's good. That's got the makings of a shootout and a good game, I feel like. What do you think?
I want to go Cardinals just because Arthur Smith is gone, and if it turns into a shootout, I would rather see Arizona win.
Yeah, I don't care who wins, but
No, I just
know.
mean I think if it turns into a shootout, I would rather bet on Kyler Murray than Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
I think what's
Tennessee's got
interesting in
firepower,
this, what's interesting in this is isn't home field advantage usually +3? So this is a +2.5. So technically they're calling this like a 50-50 shot, or even maybe
No, the Titans are -2.5. -2.5.
Right. That's what I'm saying is or you usually not a plus, like you usually get 3 points in your, so like minus means that they're
Right.
betting on you to win.
I get what you're saying. So what he's
So
saying
it's
is
usually a
that
3-point swing.
he's saying neutral ground. They are saying that Arizona has a 0.5 advantage.
Right, exactly. So that's as just about as close to 50-50 shot as you can probably.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's kind of what it comes down to. This is a coin flip, but I like Tennessee. I think I like Tennessee.
Total coin flip. Going to be a great week 1 game. There's a lot on here that looks really good week 1. This is definitely one of them. Yeah, I'll go Titans, but not by much. Another less than 3-point spread. Seahawks at Colts at Indianapolis. I'm going Seattle. I don't know about you guys. They're getting points too.
Yeah, I don't care what the spread is. I'm not taking Carson Wentz week 1 in that offense. I don't even think Carson Wentz is bad. I think like he could end up rebounding, but like week 1 in that offense, I don't see it happening.
I would be curious to know how often a quarterback technically gets fired from a team, goes to another one, and then wins his first game. Like that would be an interesting stat to find. Like, who are those guys that, went to a new team? Maybe it was the start of fire. Like, did Ryan Tannehill win his first game? Probably.
I don't know.
Because he, but that's a interesting stat to think. But I have to kind of go with the idea that, Russell Wilson, obviously he is who he is, but he also understands and has been in that offense for quite a while, where Carson Wentz is going to be learning something new. So,
yeah, Seahawks getting points there, faux show. Give me that. Yeah. This game looks really nice too. Vikings at Bengals. We got Joe Burrow coming back from injury. Man, yeah, a couple. I don't know. That one feels close. What do you guys think?
I'm on the Bengals. Again, new offense. Go with the Bengals.
Okay, and the Bengals are at home getting 3.
Yeah, give me that.
I like that. That's pretty solid. I'd love to see what Chase is going to look like too. Like, whew.
I think it'll be a quiet day for Chase week 1. But I think the Vikings are going to look messy week 1. And again, it's one of those things where the Vikings traditionally do not excel in situations where they need to come from behind because they tend to run the ball, and that's what they do, even though they're far more effective passing the ball than they are running.
So I got a question, and this is a little bit off topic, but so we've got a new league schedule technically this year with an extended, one extra game that takes away from our preseason. What do you think preseason is going to look like? And do you think the NFL is going to be interested in getting their starters more reps?
No, I think it'll be the same number of reps. I think it's going to be the people at the bottom that are losing reps. So a lot more is going to hinge on practices rather than in-game performance, which I think probably was always the case.
Do you think game 2 is going to be the one where like the first team offense, plays for the first half hour or game?
I think we basically just remove week 1 and we're going with everything else. It's also possible that they don't play their stars at all. But After how many injuries there were last year,
I feel like they need to play some of these guys more often, like getting them into the groove closer to the beginning of the season, so that later on you don't have those major injuries that like we saw last year and all of that stuff.
I agree, but then you have people like Aaron Rodgers that just say we should get rid of preseason entirely because it's all fine, and then everybody gets hurt. So
Yeah.
you have people that are actually playing the game that think it doesn't matter and don't realize that it does.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. All right, we got a couple more here that look really good week one. Rematch of late last year game that started good and then turned into a bloodbath. Steelers at Bills. Bills -6. I'm going Bills.
I'm going Bills.
Bills.
Yeah, even with the -6, I'm going Bills.
Yeah, don't care.
Yep.
Don't trust Roethlisberger.
Yep, and that offensive line got worse. That he's going to get hurt.
Yep.
All right, what else looks good here? Any chance the Browns cover getting 6 at Kansas City week one? Getting 6.
Yeah, I think that's entirely possible, especially week one. I think teams are playing a little more conservative. They're not going for the throat. They're just trying to win the game. So if the Chiefs get up, maybe they start running the ball, protect Mahomes, all that stuff. They're not taking the same risks they're taking late season. So even if the Chiefs get up big, I think that the Browns cover that.
Do you think
that was a close game last year too?
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
But do you think if the Chiefs find that like they have their foot on the Browns' neck, whatever happens, like it's not a close game, Chiefs have a chance to go like away with it, do you think they do like kind of a revenge showing because they lost the Super Bowl, and so they're gonna go and try and like come out really strong in the first game if they have that opportunity?
Because I think A, that's asinine. I think also B, like it's that early in the season where it's going to be the same situation as the QB sneak, where you QB sneak with Mahomes and he gets injured, and then everyone's like, "What the fuck were you doing, QB sneaking?" Where like, if that happened late in the season, people would have been like, "Yeah, you had to go for that," you know. So I think this is one of those things where it's like, "Yep, if you're up big, protect Mahomes, run the football, keep your guy at all costs, all that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. That's another great game that week. And there are a couple more that stick out also. Packers, Saints, depending, obviously, if Rodgers plays or not. And who's the quarterback for the Saints?
I don't think it matters either way.
So Saints are actually favored. So it looks like, I don't know. Are they projecting Rodgers with that? I don't know. So
they were projecting Rodgers. So it seems like they're not anymore.
Saints -2.5. Yeah, I don't know. It depends if Rodgers plays. That's really the answer there.
I mean, if Vegas is saying Rodgers isn't playing now, then I think they have better information than us.
Oh, they always do. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's not great. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that one goes.
Great. Get him out of here.
Yeah, for you guys. For you guys. Yeah. It's not good for the league. All right, and then the last. Okay, this one looks good. Last one looks okay. So Bears at Rams. Rams -7. So they're really thinking Stafford's going to come out and bring them the pound town.
Yeah.
Well, they also think Dalton's playing week one.
Yeah. Right. So is it Dalton? Is it Fields?
Yeah, give me the Rams on that one.
Yep.
Stafford's coming for revenge.
Yeah. That could be a bloodbath. Yeah.
Give me the storylines.
Yeah, I'd take Rams in points there pretty easily. Yep. And then the first Monday night game of the year is Ravens at the Raiders. Raiders are getting 4.5. I'm going Ravens pretty easily.
Ravens all day.
Yeah.
Gruden has installed a new offense with 7 centers on the offense this season.
Cool. All right, that's all I had.
All right, well, that wraps up the show. Bob, we've kept you around just to do this last little bit. For everyone out there, make sure that you are checking out the website, idpguys.org. Become a subscriber. Subscribe to the show as well. YouTube, Writer to Digest Network. We've got a ton of great content coming right now, as well as, sign up for the IDP Invitational for 2022. But with that, follow us on Twitter. I'm at Nate Sheet. John is at OrangeMan3142. Sean is at Lanny1925 and at IDP Bob. You can't miss them. But with that, that's the end of the show. Play us out, Bob.
Yeah, just want to make sure y'all are here loving one another and being kind to your neighbors, loving thy neighbors. And that's all I've got.